News is, flew right through the MOT. Bad news, broken their headlight adjuster on it. But as it passed its MOT, I did have to free off the brake calipers for the MOT. Pistons have gone rusty in it, so we got from Big Red a new caliper rebuild kit. I did purchase one of these before, but unfortunately there's Lucas calipers, and I think it's Brembo or something. It might be Bilstein calipers or something. And originally I ordered the wrong one, but they were kind enough to refund me for the ones before, but then suddenly it's a year later and then the other caliper on the other side started sticking, so I thought we'll buy a kit again. I've also got a set of new Bosch injectors, so they come apart a bit in the post with new seals to try and still having the hot start issue, but when it starts it feels like it's suddenly starting on sort of 2 or 3 cylinders, so I'm wondering if it's the spark plugs leaking. But as the car's done 197,000 miles now anyway, it doesn't hurt to chuck a new set in it. Then we've got new seals for the injectors in there. I'll try and film putting the seals and that on the injector. Done this once before already because I've replaced the seals before. I've basically just got the 10mm on there, and you need a 12 and 14mm to undo the pipe, but you just got to be very careful not to break the pipe because they're nylon pipes, and obviously you probably can't really get them anymore. As you can see, I've undone that 10mm bolt there. I pulled out the fuel ejector. Looks very dirty and oily around there, but whether that's just from the red rubber grease I put on before. But say just 2 spanners like that, just very carefully loosen off the pipe union, and then you should be able to take the injector off then. It's the new versus the old injector. I just checked the thread and it's the same thread, so hopefully it's the right one. Just need to slide this one off now. While I do it in the vise. I have a bit of wood on the nozzle end, and I put the socket onto that end and push it out with the vise. Camera, and I won't break it. Just have it in the vise like that. You get it all nice and central. You just turn it in, and then you just feel it pop in. It goes loose, and that's just push the little seal out with the injector, like the plastic housing there. You've got it out the vise, but say these O-rings here, these had failed on these injectors before, because the trick to doing it is spray like brake cleaner or carb cleaner on the injectors, then the engine revs change. Normally means these are leaking. Normally once you got the revs a bit higher though, it's desuctioning enough. But yeah, anyway, so we've got the new seals, new injectors, so I'm just going to go one by one doing each one. I've just noticed that the new injectors are actually dated 2009, but obviously they don't really go wrong, like on the shelf. The new seal, also I did put grease on the end, but I've just put a little bit more there, so it's just going to have the red rubber grease. It's what I use for brake sliders, and they did also use it when I had the Volvo brake calipers apart before, so grease up all the pistons and that. But yeah, simply just slide that into that groove now, and we can get this back into the housing, and it also comes with the little new seals to go on the housings as well. I didn't seem to have to use a vise then, it just seemed to pop back in with hand pressure. I'm sure the grease has helped that. So we'll just change this little O-ring now. Right, so hopefully we can get this on back in the car now. So, got the injector back on there. Obviously that plastic bit spins, so you don't have to worry about the pipe. I am just going to give that down there just a quick wipe out with a tissue or something to make sure there's no big debris in there. That's it, as easy as that. I've just got to do it another 3 more times now. Looks like someone's already marked the numbers of the injectors, or the front ones anyway. So I'm really hoping this is going to make a big improvement to the starting, but I have my doubts that it will, but it's still nice to put new injectors on after nearly 200,000 miles. Well, I've got number 2 out here, but maybe ignore the vice idea, probably because there are new seals in it and not the original hard leaky ones. They just seem to be just hand pressure is enough to push off the housings, so that should make things a bit quicker. That's all the old injectors out. The new one's in, so I just got to refit this last one. But I just want to point out that obviously this isn't the right way of doing it. All this really, you should have it like really clean, either through a parts washer or a ultrasonic cleaner, just to get everything spotless. But I have had these apart not long ago, actually, just before we went to Ireland, so probably beginning of February into January, and obviously there's no real build-up of dirt in them, because obviously air hasn't been leaking through because they've not been leaking since I replaced the seals. This is just more of a quickly try and get it all back together while I got a spare hour or 2. Obviously dad life and that. But yeah, let's get this back in, and hopefully, well, I can't see it's going to make any difference to the car really, but hopefully we're going to improve the hot start issues we've been having with the Volvo. All back in now. Just going to try and fire it up, hopefully it'll work alright. But what I also need to do is down in there I change the mixture slightly. You can't really see, there's like a copper tube. You see that? There's like a copper tube in there. In there it's, I think it's a 3mm Allen key. I was able to just richen up the mixture slightly, because on the MOT it was very low emission readings, but now I've done that, the idle's dropped, so I just need to set it up again. There is a video that shows you how to set it up. If I can, I will link that in the description of this video. Anyway, let's see if it starts first. Take it out of gear. Obviously we have just lost the fuel pressure now, so it might take a while. Well, considering I've had the injectors off, I'd say that started up pretty quickly. So I just want to reset up the idle now. There's a bit of tissue there then. So I'm just going to follow a procedure and how to set up the idle, and we'll see how it goes. Tighten up the fan belts as well, because just notice the lights, heaters and wipers on, it just squeaks a little bit. You can see they're a bit loose. I think there's supposed to be an adjuster on these, like you see down there, on the power steering one, that little thread bolt there. Obviously it's missing on this side, so this is nothing bolt for it. So you wedge a spanner in that side and you loosen it, and normally just pry. Well, you see with the socket, the ratchet is there, just the other side of that bracket. Just tend to pry a little bit on there, put some more tension on it, then nip that bolt back up. Hopefully do it. I'm just holding some tension there with a bar. I can now nip up that socket now, which will tighten up that nut and bolt. But that one's all nice and tight now. I thought just as well nip up the power steering one while I'm here. Maybe I should see if I can get a bracket for that. So you do, you see my spanner on there on the 13mm, you just slacken that off, and then with a 10mm on there, just take out the little bit of slack with that, and then obviously tighten up the 13mm nut again. Nice and easy, instead of wrestling with a bar against a hot exhaust, trying to do up a nut and bolt. So you need 3 hands really to do that, but we did manage to get it a lot tighter. Probably why it's come a bit loose.